धन्यवाद.
Thank you. The resolution is moved. No, resolution is moved now.
The other resolutions.
No, that let this be. Now I request Sri Dr. Ami Agnik. Not present. The next speaker, Sri Jawhar Sircar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Rakesh. It was exactly 45 minutes, your usual class time, and we were all entitled to be your students. He has spoken a lot of good things. I must compliment him. He has covered a lot of Indian history, and I fully agree with him that we must all take pride in the achievements of India. We have just a few fine-tuning questions, that's all. You have mentioned in your resolution ancient India, and at another point you have mentioned Indian knowledge tradition. The two are different. Ancient India and Indian knowledge tradition, because Indian knowledge tradition continues beyond ancient India, through the medieval period, through the modern period. There's not everything in the modern period that we can disown. We can't send back all cycles to Great Britain because they had sent cycles or matches or lighters. We can't do that. We can't turn back the wheel of history. They were exploiters. They tried to captivate our minds. There is no doubt about it. They have changed our mindset, and we really require a readjustment of our mindset. I fully agree with you. But I would raise a few points, humble points, sir. And then the first one is, why did we forget all that knowledge? Why did we forget that surgery? Why did we forget how to drive flying machines? That is one thing that the proposed commission, if it is set up, may like to find out. Why did we fall back on the brilliance we had achieved in physics, in astronomy, in everything, and we are left behind with only Ayurveda, to which most people don't go, and astrology? Why is it that we have forgotten? Why is it that we have forgotten? ये भी हमें पूछना है. We have to go for introspection to find out. The second point I would like to submit is the forgetting was so devastating that we had forgotten everything. Let me explain. Samrat Ashok is the pillar of our ancient Indian period. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Samrat Ashok was wiped off from Indian history. I'm repeating, he was wiped off the Indian memory, and not a single textbook mentioned him for centuries after centuries, from millennia, until he was rediscovered in 1837 in Asiatic Society, Calcutta, by a young British scholar who died the next year out of overwork, James Prinsep. Why did we forget Ashok? Was it because he was a Buddhist? Was it because he rose against the caste system? I'm not getting into Dalit Pari, I'm not getting into all that. All I'm saying is, why is it that such a mahapap happened, that Ashok was completely forgotten and had to be reconstructed, retrofitted into Indian history? I can go on mentioning Ajanta, the pride of India, was completely obliterated from our landscape until it was rediscovered in 1819. Why did we have to rediscover? These are points we need to ask ourselves. I completely believe in your theory that we had supreme achievement. In 1837, Sarnath was not destroyed by Bakhtiaruddin Khilji. Sarnath was found out by digging. In 1851, Sanchi was rediscovered. The famous Sanchi was rediscovered. I can go on naming. Bharut was rediscovered. The point is, Indian knowledge had an obsessive urge to retain selective memory and not to remember much of its history. That's the first point I'm submitting. Selective memory is not bad per se, because we don't remember the conflicts we had within ancient India. We are know that if a history remembers conflict, it leads to a lot of problems. So I have just mentioned the feature, I'm not blaming, but these are the features. Among the other things, we had even forgotten Indus Valley, Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization was found out and gifted to us between 1922 and 1946. The first textbook that mentions Harappan civilization is of 1954 Calcutta. If you are a student before 1954, I've gone through all the Vincent Smith and all those books. There is no mention of Harappan civilization. So we had a great quality of amnesia. Let us not, all the gains that we're making now should not be subject to the same amnesia. That's my humble submission. If we ever set up a research commission or a committee, go into why did we lose out on such brilliant achievements. We all support the glory of India. Anyone who does not support it is not an Indian. I'm very clear about it. Let us now come up to the next point. When you talk of universities and brilliance of learning, for centuries after centuries, for 2.5 millennia, it was centered to one caste. I'm sorry to say it, it was centered to one caste. Would you like to go back to one caste? It was not a knowledge that was widespread. It was not knowledge that was disseminated. It was kept and retained as a code knowledge between one caste and one caste and one caste. Number two, if the Kshatriyas had to go through training, they were given private tuition by their gurus. We are not referring to that. What we are referring to is the constriction of knowledge. One I referred to the amnesia, the second is constriction. With the grace of God, no such constriction is ever possible. So I hope that we all support free, open, casteless education. The third point I mentioned, which may help my good friend Rakesh Sinha in trying to understand the limitations of why we lost. The pain of losing out to foreign powers hurts us as well. It is not that we are immune to it. We don't express it in such terms. Because, again, of casteism. We could not touch a person of another caste and go in for touching and surgery and other things because, again, of that thing. You can't open a dead body. It is impure. A shav is impure. So we had to go through. So we have to understand that behind this glory lay limitations. No one is questioning the magnificence of Indian glory. We are questioning the limitations. And we need to uphold and understand, but in a rational manner, not in a self-laudatory manner, but in a self-critical manner. Not in a proprietal manner. This knowledge I am bringing out. It's a knowledge that has existed and all Indians are proud of it. We have retained certain bits and pieces of it and we must get forward. I support his resolution for research commissions, but there are certain clauses like make it mandatory for universities. As somebody who loves universities, I don't like anything that is mandatory on universities. I don't like the word mandate somehow. Leave it to free thought, free will, free this thing. It's an excellent exposition that he has made. My humble submission, I'm not a killjoy. My humble submission is that there are certain inherent flaws there were inherent flaws that prevented with this glorious amount of knowledge from transferring itself to material glory and from material glory to material prosperity that covered the whole of this vast land. With these words, I thank you and I hope these points are taken into account.
Thank you, Sircar ji. Now I call upon Shri